Part of my 2022 goal this year is helping my clients achieve wealth through real estate after they've made their first purchase. I'm not just talking about buying homes here, right? What are we doing next? Recently on Keri TV, we have been discussing all types of real estate investments such as income properties, flip properties, buy and hold properties, long, short-term rentals, etc., and how these properties come with a variety of income taxes too. Yes, have you heard of capital gains? Well, today on Keri TV, we are going to look at some of the details on real estate investments and making sure you are aware of tax codes and investments that will help you maintain that wealth you've been working hard to earn. Keep in mind, I'm not a tax accountant, I'm a real estate agent, I think you know, so that's my legal disclaimer here today. My next legal disclaimer is this is another Keri TV episode. Welcome everybody. On Keri TV, we talk about all the ins, outs, ups, downs of all the things Los Angeles real estate related from buying, selling, and investing. And if you haven't already subscribed, you are missing out, first and foremost. So subscribe below and feel free to share this with a friend or comment with any questions or just say hello. So you're in your home, you've made your purchase, woohoo, and you're ready to make a move. Good for you. Maybe you don't need to sell to buy, which is fantastic. Kudos to you. You can qualify and afford to keep your place when you're ready to move, if you're in that position. But what if you could make more money by buying a different type of asset with those funds and purchasing your next either move up or move out or whatever house you're looking for? Well, what do you mean? A lot of my clients who maybe own small condos or homes say, hey Keri, I can keep this as a rental because I qualify without selling it and then I can buy something else. The odds of what they are making on that single parcel, condo, or home that it is anywhere from maybe $100 to $500 a month on that property. How fun, I'll keep this as a rental and be a landlord. What else should we consider here with this option? Having just one rental, even though it's great and awesome, congrats to you, kudos, right? It leaves you a little exposed. Let's take a look at why. All right, number one, you have vacancy factor. There is always a time between renters in which you will be making zero money. If no one's there renting the property and you're fixing it up or looking for another renter, you've got zero money going towards your mortgage. That time frame could be a few days if you're lucky, but it's usually often anywhere from 2 to 4 or even 6 weeks. Did you budget that in as far as paying your mortgage, taxes, and insurance? Number two, what about repairs? Between renters, normally you're looking at paint, carpet, those are just a few standard other items. So you'll have to pay for that cost on that condo or home. Number three, what about property management? Are you around when they call to complain about the neighbor, it's not a kindergarten class, or maybe even the light bulb? Oh boy, there's a lot of things some tenants call about. Number four, what about the capital gains tax? How does that change? Well, we'll get into that in a little bit. Let's look into some other assets here and the pros and cons of that. Having a rental, any rental, is amazing. I am all about the property portfolio, however it looks. Yes, yes, and more yes. What if you could make more money by moving this property that you own into another type of investment? I've talked a lot about short-term rentals on my recent webinars, which we can include the link to below if you haven't seen those already. But let's specifically take a look at, say, a 2 to 4 unit property, for example. So duplex, triplex, fourplex. Let's follow the same points that we just mentioned above. Okay, one, vacancy factor. Due to multiple tenants, when you have a change in tenants, you never have zero income. The other tenants there, they're all still paying. So you always have money going towards your mortgage, taxes, insurance, etc. Second one, repairs. Let's talk economy of scale. You fix one thing on a home, like the roof, you have one single roof fixed. But on an apartment building, you have to fix one roof, you fix 4 roofs. You fix one sewer line, you fix 4, 6, or even 10 sewer lines, depending on what you buy. Foundation work, we just hit the jackpot on that one, right? The third one, you can scale faster. I love this one. Apartment buildings appreciate more over time than single parcels. So your making money is actually making more money for you in this process, right? It's the best. This is the same how homes appreciate more than condos and apartments appreciate more than single family homes. The economy of scale. It's the best lesson ever here today, right? 4, it's easier to get a manager to help you with all the little fixes and take that off your plate as you're making more income monthly. And last, you could actually live there too if you needed to. Maybe I'm a little biased having a father who raised me on this economy of scale model by taking his first single family home investments and turning them into various 3 to 26 unit buildings around the city, in which I was lucky enough to be able to invest in one of the most recent ones with him in West Adams about 4 years ago. To scale that building in particular, we turned 3 of the units into short-term rentals, and instead of getting $1,800 on those units, we were getting $3,500 a month, sometimes even $4,000. Capitalizing overall on that monthly income for those 6 units. That property has over doubled in the last 4 years that we have owned it. But we still need to paint the paint on the outside. The exterior painting needs to be done, so gotta look at that economy of scale. All 6 units will get painted, right? When you look at the equity you have on your current home that you live in, I'd like to explore how those funds could work for you in other assets where you can profit more each month than you would from that one single asset. Hey, it is not for the faint of heart. I get it. Having properties, building a portfolio, being an investor. But if you want to add another stream of income to your life and set yourself up for this long-term plan of building wealth and security and financial freedom, then this is a great option to explore. Who's in? Well, I'm in. One quick note, just to be extra clear, speaking of wealth, capital gains, as I mentioned briefly. So that first property you purchased, or the second or third, whichever one you were selling to or renting out, you've made money on it, obviously, as everyone has due to the market increases in the last 10 years. And you are required to pay taxes on that money that you made. However, Uncle Sam does allow exemptions on that income up to a certain amount. For an owner-occupied unit or a home, condo or home, the current code is you're allowed to deduct $250,000 if you're single, and if you're a married couple, it's $500,000. So on a primary residence, you have $250,000 or a $500,000 allowance. So example, if you purchased for $1 million and now it's worth $1.7 million, that would essentially be $700K of taxes if there was no exemptions. That's a lot of taxes to pay, and that doesn't really, I don't like that. If you're married, you take off $500,000 from that income where you don't pay taxes on, and you also get to add in your expenses like house upgrades, repairs, maintenance, cost of sale like escrow, title, commissions. It's important to keep track of all these items you do at your home so you can give this to your accountant and she can adequately add those in. By the time you add these up, you've probably easily deducted another $200,000, leaving you back at no profit to be taxed on, which is amazing and really important to follow. Keep in mind, once that property becomes an investment, it's no longer your primary home, so those owner-occupied exemptions are removed. But you are still allowed to deduct expenses, depreciation, improvement costs, costs of sale, etc., but there's no set number of allowance deduction. At that point, you move into a 1031 exchange. You guys still with me? The name comes from Section 1031 of the U.S. Internal Revenue Code, which allows you to avoid paying capital gain taxes when you sell an investment property if you are reinvesting the proceeds from the sale into another property. So you could take this profit of gains from your investment home and transfer it directly into another investment home and not pay those taxes. You are deferring those taxes. You aren't evading them, so no Bernie Madoff thing here. Are you guys following me here? Well, good for you, because if this got a little overwhelming, my Keri TV episode 161 talks about all the details about a 1031 exchange, the tax code, and all the ups and downs and challenges that go along with it, because it is quite a complicated sale. It's about what you buy, the time frames, etc. So make sure you check that episode out if you're curious about a 1031. Speaking of this, building wealth in real estate is all about setting yourself up with a team of experts. Your real estate agent, your accountant, your bookkeeper, anyone making decisions in your financial world. These tax guidelines and investment hacks are oh so important to help you save money and build equity and wealth in real estate. Let's go make some money, and make sure you subscribe. Cheers, everyone.